Hi, welcome to Go with Yin Yoga. I'm Judy, and your Be Compassionate Yin Yoga practice that aligns with the metal element of fall that is also tied to the feelings of grief and sadness and letting go of that. It's also a low back, arms, and shoulders practice. We are going to hold our poses for roughly 5 minutes. If you need to, go in and out of the pose. If you can stay in it for 5 minutes, awesome. Anything else? Now is a great time to set an intention. If you have one of your own, I am suggesting be compassionate. I am sitting up on a block. You don't need any props at all for this practice, but take whatever you need to feel more comfortable in the practice. And then join me in an easy seated position. Feel your roots going down into the earth, keeping you safe, sheltered, secure. Close your eyes if you do feel secure. And take your attention to your breath. The metal element is associated with your lung and large intestine meridians. So it is both about letting go and it's about taking in fresh energy through your lungs. And that's not just your lungs here, all around your body. And begin to notice how your breath feels today. Not making any judgments, just noticing how it feels. Maybe noticing how when you breathe in through your nose, it feels cool because it's coming in from the outside environment. And when you breathe out through your nose, it feels warmer because it's been warmed in your body. So that exchange of fresh and stale that is always going on in our lives. I'm going to suggest that I will hold my discussions on today's theme for our poses since we are taking a longer time in each pose, so you can open your eyes if they're not open. We're going to begin in shoelace pose. So take one knee towards the center of your torso, doesn't matter which one, we're going to do both sides. And then take the other knee as best you can on top of it. If there's a really big gap between your knees, go ahead and put a little towel in there. Now this may feel like enough for you. I like to grab my ankles and bring those heels back towards my body, but what we're going to layer in is eagle arms. So stretch your arms out into a T. Take that right arm, bend the elbow, and then take the left arm underneath, so the elbows are underneath each other. And as best you can, bring your hands together. If this is too difficult, you can just take your hands to your shoulders. And I imagine by now that you are feeling that stretch across the back of your body. So we are exploring the Yoga Sutras, one Yoga Sutra in particular, 1.33, and it's colloquially known as the four locks. Basically, as I mentioned in last week's practice, which was about the first lock, that if you have the keys to these locks, you have the keys to a happier life. So this section of this sutra that we are exploring today says, be compassionate to unhappy people, including yourself. And then the Dalai Lama said, through compassion, you find that all human beings are just like you. Now, if you'd like, you can also begin to bend forward. You can take your elbows onto a block, onto your knees, opening up across that back so you can breathe deeper. So when I thought about this part of the 4 locks, the second lock, be compassionate to the unhappy, I thought about current events, which whenever you see this, it may not be current events anymore. But at this point in time, our current administration in the US is going after the homeless, is going after immigrants, people who may not be unhappy, quite frankly. I lived in Texas for a long time, and so immigrants there, legal or illegal, I never knew. They are some of the kindest and hardest working people I knew. When governments start to want to gather more power for themselves, one of the first things they do, and this goes back a long way in history, is they show you this person. This person is the reason for all of your problems. And right now, that is immigrants and the homeless. But what if we were able to look at these people? Certainly the homeless are most likely to be unhappy people, with compassion. You think that would make you feel happier? Okay, I will shut up now. You're doing a really wonderful job. You are more than halfway through this first side. And of course, you don't have to come down like I am. You stay up like this, perfectly fine. Staying upright through your torso. Go to the appropriate edge for your body today. Last couple of breaths here. And go ahead and unwind your arms, maybe stretch them out a little bit. Go ahead and unwind your legs as well. I had my left leg on top, so make a note of which leg was on top. So we're doing the second side, but for now, take your hands behind your hips. Take your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Allow your heart to really open. Let that chest lift, and then let the knees fall from side to side. Trying to let go of any muscular tension that built up during that long hold in the pose. Okay, we're going to come into the second side. I'm going to take my left leg underneath, and the right leg on top. Hands are going to come out. The left arm is going to come forward to the middle of your body. Bend that elbow. Take the right arm underneath, so the elbows are one on top of each other as best you can. And do the best with your hands. Obviously, you can see this is an area of limitation for me. I don't know if that's bone structure. Don't have an X-ray machine. I don't know if that's not enough mobility in that shoulder joint. I really don't know. But I can tell you the eagle arm pose is really great for undoing some of that tension that builds up when we are just like this looking at a screen. Remember, you can always rest elbows in front. Give yourself a hug if that feels better. I am compassionate to the unhappy, including myself. So that is the other side. It's not just about being compassionate to unhappy people around you. It starts with being compassionate to yourself. Maybe you're unhappy about your weight. Maybe you're unhappy about your friends or your loved ones. And you can begin to bend over if you'd like. Place those elbows onto a knee. Maybe you're unhappy with where you live, or the house you live in, or the car you drive. All sorts of things could make you unhappy. But can you be compassionate to yourself? And if you are, how do you think that will make you feel? You are doing a great job. You are getting close to being done in this pose. Last couple of breaths here. And go ahead and bring yourself upright while unwinding your legs and your arms, coming back into that wider than hip width apart. Stance with your legs leaning back, opening up through your chest, and allowing those knees to fall from side to side. For instance, I'm going to try and give myself compassion for the fact that I have forgotten to turn off the fan, as I have done many times before. It's something I meant to do, but I forgot. What a setup with these videos. Okay. Go ahead and grab that block if you're using one. If you have a bolster nearby, you can grab that as well. And you do not need any prop at all. Go ahead, turn to face the short end of your mat, or bed, as the case may be. Come into a tabletop position. And we're going into child's pose. So if this is a really tough one for you, you might want to place the block between your ankles perhaps, and then you can sit back on it. See? Or if you're a little bigger on top than I am, you might want to place it underneath your chest. And I'm going to suggest you take your knees out wide, and then bring your hips back to your heels. I'm going to place this block underneath my forearm. It's a really calming point right here. All right. And we are going to have two different arm positions in our child pose. And the first one is just stretching your arms forward. And as you are in child's pose, can you really feel into the back body? Feeling yourself taking really deep breaths, bringing in fresh energy. Ribcage expanding as you inhale and then contracting as you exhale, and getting rid of that stale energy. Maybe even rock your head a little bit side to side, so you're kind of massaging your third eye point. And this is another great practice to do before you go to sleep. And get rid of a lot of muscular tension and also calm your emotions and your thoughts. And go ahead, if you'd like, and take your arms behind you. I'm going to move my block a little bit. In fact, I'm going to remove it altogether. And just come right down. Like a little child who is just overtired and just completely flops down. I am compassionate to the unhappy, including myself.
The last couple of breaths here. Slowly bring your hands forward so the palms of your hands are on your mat. Press into those hands and bring yourself upright. And then take your legs out to the side and straight out in front of you, a little bit wider than hip width apart, moving back into your Savasana or any position you would like to take for Savasana. I'm just going to set my block aside. If you set an intention at the beginning of this practice, now is a good time to think about that. Also a good time to think about if anything has changed from the beginning of the practice to this moment now. And of course, I offer to you physically strengthening and opening your low back, your arms, your shoulders, and also to be compassionate to the unhappy, whether or not that's another person or yourself. And compassion to myself because I'm looking at my whiteboard and realizing I meant to do something else in the very beginning of this practice. So there you go. And I just wanted to repeat the Dalai Lama quote. Through compassion you find that all human beings are just like you. It's so true. We all want the same things. We want to be loved. We want to feel safe. We want to have clean water and clean food and a home to call our own. These are all common desires of every people throughout the world. Go ahead, relax into your Shavasana until you hear me speak again.
Allow yourself to remain in Savasana for as long as feels right for you, maybe pausing the video and just relaxing even more. If you do need to move into the rest of your day, allow your breath to deepen. Notice if you feel as though you have made more space to take deep breaths. And how do you feel when you can take those deeper breaths? Allowing your eyes to remain closed if they are. Begin to stretch your body any way that feels right. Maybe taking a really big stretch with hands overhead, feeling that stretch from the tips of your fingertips all the way down to the tips of your toes. Perhaps circling wrists and ankles. And moving your head any way that feels right. In your own time and in your own way, join me in an easy seated position with the eyes still closed if they are. Inhale, bring the palms of the hands together to meet in front of your heart. Your thumbs into your heart center. Fingers point straight up towards the heavens. Head bows slightly over your hands. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you always show compassion to yourself and others. And may you be free from pain and suffering. Go ahead and begin to blink your eyes open, taking in your mat, and then raising your head and lowering your hands to take in the rest of your rooms. You did such a great job today. I can tell you right now, it was a little bit challenging for me because I am a little tight in that area. But it feels so good when you work on that and allow yourself to open up more so that you can breathe deeper and take in more oxygen and more energy. If you enjoyed this practice, please go ahead and click the like button so more people can find free yin yoga. Thank you for joining me as I explained several things I have to be compassionate with myself today. And if you'd like to practice with me again, go ahead and click subscribe and click the bell. This also helps more people to find free yin yoga. Now you're going to see some videos listed on the screen. One is the Yin Yoga for Grief playlist that I've put together that has over 30 videos, some from the past, some from this summer. So Metal Element aligns with grief and sadness, remember, so very appropriate for this season. And another is affirmations for loving kindness. So you can be kind to others and be kind to yourself, And then there's another short yin yoga practice you might want to consider adding to this, a really personal practice that I did 4 months ago when I came back after my mom's memorial service, not her burial, but her memorial service. And I was completely and utterly, emotionally and physically, mentally exhausted. And so I just intuitively did this practice, and I found it to be very helpful for myself. And I hope that if you try it, you will find it helpful as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a great rest of your day or evening.